So guess what? Trump went to CPAC and he gave a speech. Listen to this.
We had a Republican Party that was ruled by freaks, neocons, globalists, open border zealots, and fools. But we are never going back to the party of Paul Ryan, Karl, Rove, and Jeb Bush.
That's pretty cool. Say what you want. It's good to see the former head of the party call out those people. And what did he call them?
We had a Republican Party that was ruled by freaks, neocons, globalists, open border zealots.
Freaks, neocons, globalists, open borders, zealots. As Bernie Sanders said, open borders was a right-wing scam, that they did want open borders. That's according to Bernie Sanders.
Well, we got to close them down in Ukraine.
That's right. And he's right. The neo. So you say what you want about Trump. He was the only president, I think, in the last 40 years didn't start a new war. He didn't start a new war.
That's why I wanted him out.
Say what you want. Look how tiny this is. Do liberal pundits have any idea why Trump vows that the GOP will never go back to being the party of Paul Ryan, Karl Rove, and Jeb Bush, and why the CPAC crowd cheers? Maybe all the heroic and principled never Trump resistance patriots do understand and are motivated by this. I don't know what that line means. What do you think he means when he says maybe all the heroic and principled never Trump resistance patriots?
Oh, they do want it because that's right. They're terrified that it will never go back to being Paul Ryan, and that they'll lose. I mean, I think it kind of still is at the moment, but
yeah, I mean, definitely the bad guys have control of the Republican Party. There's no doubt about it. So when he says there's, but
very motivated to keep it how it is. I mean,
so maybe he says that he's being sarcastic when he says that they're principled, never Trump resistance patriots.
Yes, that's sarcasm. Yes.
Yes. So when he says they do understand and are motivated,
highly motivated, I would say,
by this, I still don't understand.
So we got to stop him at all costs.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like the thing of dressing up with the fake tiki torches, like the
right. The neoliberal order wants the GOP controlled by the Paul Ryans, Karl Roves, and Jeb Bushes because they are far more controllable and their worldview is far more compatible with Democratic leaders. A populist ideology scoring the Bushes and neocons is far more threatening to all. So that's what he's saying. That's what Glenn Greenwald is saying is that. Okay.
Alexander Pelosi's father figure, George Bush.
So breaking, big GOP donors tell Fox Business they're increasingly worried that Ron DeSantis has allowed real Donald Trump to define the terms of the race and him as a globalist with the base by waiting before entering the race. I understand some have even told the Florida governor that developing.
Have you seen the smear of if somebody says globalist, oh, you just mean Jews? That's what
they're trying to say.
Yeah,
that is not true.
Friends of mine say that it's
that
real.
Is not true. That is not what globalist means. It does not mean Jews. That is not what it means.
Klaus Schwab ain't Jewish.
But just like they say, you know what? The lab leak means you're racist.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Exactly right.
That just like saying globalist. They just want to say that they call you a racist or an anti-Semite when you're saying something that's true. They don't want to hear.
Well, it's just a code. The thing you're saying is not the thing you're saying. It's a dog whistle for the thing I want you to be saying, so I can argue against that thing instead of what you're saying.
Yes. I'd love for this to be true, but Trump repeatedly sided with Paul Ryan against the Freedom Caucus and brought on Karl Rove as an advisor in his 2020 campaign. Is that true?
I don't know.
Well, this Max guy thinks so. Really?
I mean, he brought in all kinds of horrible choices as advisors.
He certainly did. He brought in the swamp. He said he was going to drain the swamp, and then the swamp ended up in his the joke.
He tried to. What it is he tried to be oh, you can work with me, and I could be and it would have been nice to really practice what you preach and not try to join their club at the start.
The Freedom Caucus will hurt the entire Republican agenda if they don't get on the team and fast. We must fight them and Democrats in 2018. So there he is.
What is the Freedom Caucus? I don't even know.
So the Freedom Caucus were the ultra right wing that put a thorn in the side of Paul Ryan. They made him and Boehner ended up resigning.
Became a weed dealer to
Yeah, John Boehner went and sold pot rather than deal with the Freedom Caucus. So the Freedom Caucus is to the Republican Party what the Justice Democrats are supposed to be to the Democratic Party, but they're not. So the Freedom Caucus actually stands up for what they believe in, and they actually get demands met. And that's why they wrecked Paul Ryan and they wrecked John Boehner, and then they lost the House.
What were they up to? What were they after at the time? Was it like some nonsense about something gay marriage or something?
I don't remember. I don't remember. The mastermind of George W. Bush's White House victories is advising the Trump 2020 campaign, focusing on swing state battlegrounds and Republican voter outreach. So why would he say that if he actually...
Because he'll never work with him again?
Is that it?
Probably. I bet it's a bunch of people. Omarosa he won't work with again, probably.
At least some people still appreciate Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan was correct. When he did the tax code, what's the first thing he decided we had to go after? Social Security and Medicare. Now, we need to do something about Social Security and Medicare. But that's the only way you can find room to pay for it.
What a maniac.
The first thing? That's the first thing he found was Social Security and Medicare.
That's the first.
No kidding.
So, so Trump, I like him saying that.
Yeah.
But turns out maybe he's bullshitting.
Hey, fool me once, shame on you.
Is that what this is, you think?
Fool me twice, you can't fool me twice.
Because the irony...
A great man once said.
A great man once said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You can't get fooled again.
You can't get fooled again.
That's what he did.
He's remembering the Who song. And
oh, that's what he did. He channeled the Who song. So Trump says that and that was the big disappointing thing was well, first of all, because he doesn't know anything about politics for real. And so he filled Larry Kudlow was in his, he put John Bolton. He put the dregs, the swamp creatures, he put right in his cabinet. He ended up fighting with Bolton.
He fought with all of them. He brought in all the people
that he wanted to go against.
Yeah, because he didn't know anything.
He didn't know anything.
I hope he knows something now.
Well, maybe this is the fool me once, and I'm not going to get fooled again. Who knows? We'll see.
I didn't get fooled once. I was like,
I didn't get fooled once.
I don't understand why anybody thought anything was going to be different or better.
It wasn't. He didn't start a new war. So look at that.
I guess that's all right.
If you want to see my stand-up special, become a member at jimmydore.com. It's only $10, and come see our live stand-up comedy in Los Angeles, Palm Springs, Milwaukee, St. Paul, Honolulu, Northampton, Massachusetts, Syracuse, Cohoes, New York, Hartford, and more.